Welcome to BBC Rare Coins. Today, we're diving into the world of America's most expensive and rarest coins. These incredible treasures have sold for millions of dollars, with some being so rare that only a handful exist. From legendary coins like the 1933 Double Eagle to hidden gems worth a fortune. Top 1. Welcome to BBC Rare Coins. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the 1978 Lincoln Center, a coin that millions of people have in their collections, piggy banks, or even lying around in old drawers. While most of these pennies are only worth face value, some rare examples have sold for thousands of dollars. In fact, one of the most valuable 1978 pennies was auctioned for an astounding $49,000. But what makes these coins so special? Why would anyone pay such a huge price for a penny? And most importantly, could you be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it? Stick around, because we're going to uncover the history, key features, mint errors, and the incredible values behind the 1978 1-cent penny. History of the 1978 penny. Before we talk about values, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny became one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in American history. By 1978, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly 70 years, but there were some key differences in the materials used. Pennies from 1978 were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin, giving them their familiar reddish-brown color. Each coin weighs 3.11 grams, which is slightly heavier than modern pennies, which are made primarily of zinc. The 1978 penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia Mint, No Mint Mark; Denver Mint, D Mint Mark; San Francisco Mint, S Mint Mark, proof coins only. While these pennies were produced in huge quantities, 5.5 billion from Philadelphia, 4.2 billion from Denver, and about 3 million proof coins from San Francisco, some rare variations and errors have turned ordinary pennies into valuable collector's items, rare errors and valuable varieties. Now, let's talk about what makes some 1978 pennies worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The key to finding a valuable penny lies in its condition, mint errors, and unique varieties. Point 1. Double die obverse, DDO. One of the most famous and sought-after errors in coins is the double die obverse. This happens when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, causing a slight overlap or doubling effect. On a 1978 double die penny, you might notice a doubling in the date, 1978, overlapping or thick letters in Liberty, a slight shadow, or doubling in God We Trust. If you find a 1978 penny with a strong double die error, collectors might be willing to pay hundreds or even thousands for it. 2. Off-center strike. Sometimes, a coin isn't properly aligned when it's struck at the mint. This results in an off-center design, where part of the image is missing or cut off. The value of an off-center penny depends on how misaligned it is. 5 to 10% off-center, worth about $10 to $50. 25 to 50% off-center, could be worth $100 to $300. More than 50% off-center with a full date visible, can sell for $500 or more. 3. Full red, RD, gem condition. Most circulated pennies turn brown over time, but uncirculated pennies with a bright red luster are far more valuable. A 1978 penny graded MS67 red, mint state 67 with a red color, is extremely rare. MS65 red, worth about $50 to $100. MS66 red, can sell for $300 to $600. MS67 red, rare and highly valuable, sometimes exceeding $1,000. How much is a 1978 penny worth? Now that we've covered the rare varieties, let's break down the general values of the 1978 penny. Circulated condition, common pennies, usually 1 to 3 cents due to their copper content. Uncirculated, MS60, MS64, typically $5 to $20. MS65, MS66, high-grade pennies, can fetch $50 to $500. MS67 Plus, top condition, these are the rarest and most valuable. Some have sold for $5,000 or more, but the real jackpot came when a 1978 Lincoln Center in near-perfect condition was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $49,000. This coin had flawless surfaces, full red color, and an exceptionally high grade, making it one of the most valuable pennies from that year. How to check if you have a valuable 1978 penny? So, how can you tell if your 1978 penny is worth serious money? Here's a quick checklist. Heavy checkmark. Check for a mint mark. Coins from different mints can have varying values. Heavy checkmark. Look for doubling in the letters and date. A double die penny can be very valuable. Heavy checkmark. Examine the color. A full red RD penny is worth more than a brown BN. 1. Heavy checkmark. Check for errors. Off-center strikes, clip planchets, and other mistakes can increase value. Heavy checkmark. Get it graded. If you suspect you have a rare penny, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC4. Authentication. Conclusion. The 1978 1-cent penny may seem like an ordinary coin, but as we've seen, rare variations can be worth a fortune. Whether it's a double die error, off-center strike, or an ultra-high-grade specimen, these pennies can turn up in the most unexpected places. So next time you come across a 1978 penny, don't just spend it. Take a closer look, it might just be worth thousands. Top 2. We're diving into the 1994 Lincoln Center, a common coin that millions of people have in their pocket change, but in rare cases, it can be worth a small fortune. Believe it or not, some 1994 pennies have sold for thousands of dollars, and the most valuable one reached an astonishing $71,000 at auction. But what makes these pennies so special? Could you be holding one without even realizing it? Stick around as we uncover the history, key mint errors, and the rare varieties that make the 1994 penny so valuable. History of the 1994 penny. The Lincoln Center has been in circulation since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln. By 1994, the penny had already undergone several design and metal composition changes. Unlike earlier copper pennies, the 1994 Lincoln Center was made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, giving it a total weight of 2.5 grams, lighter than the older pennies made of 95% copper. These pennies were produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, over 6.5 billion minted; Denver Mint, D mint mark, around 7.1 billion minted; San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, proof coins only, approximately 3 million minted. With billions of 1994 pennies in circulation, most are worth just 1 cent. However, some rare varieties and mint errors have turned a few of these coins into extremely valuable collectibles. Rare errors and valuable varieties. If you want to find a valuable 1994 penny, look out for these rare features. 1. 1994 double die obverse, DDO. A double die obverse, DDO, error occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, causing doubling in the text and numbers. Look closely at the date, 1994, the word liberty, the phrase "I and God we trust." A clear double die can significantly increase the value of a 1994 penny. Some of these coins have sold for over $500 depending on condition. 2. 1994 wide AM reverse variety. One of the rarest and most famous varieties is the wide AM penny. On most 1994 pennies, the letters A and M in America are very close together. However, in a rare mint error, that A and M are spaced further apart. This is called a wide AM variety. A normal close AM penny is worth only face value. A wide AM 1994 penny can be worth $100 to $1,000 plus depending on condition. 3. Off-center strike. Sometimes, a coin isn't properly aligned when struck at the mint, resulting in an off-center design. These errors range from slightly off to 50% plus off, where part of the image is missing. 5 to 10% off-center, worth $20 to $50. 25 to 50% off-center, could sell for $200 to $500. More than 50% off with a full date visible, extremely rare and worth over $1,000,004. Uncirculated and high-grade pennies, MS67 plus red, condition plays a huge role in determining a penny's value. Collectors prefer uncirculated pennies with a bright red luster, RD. The grading scale goes up to MS70, but even an MS67 plus RD penny is incredibly rare. MS65 red, worth $50 to $200. MS66 red, can sell for $500 to $1,500. MS67 plus red, the rarest and most valuable condition, with some selling for tens of thousands of dollars. How much is a 1994 penny worth? Let's break down the general values of the 1994 penny. Circulated condition, common pennies, usually worth 1 cent to 5 cents. Uncirculated, MS60, MS64, typically valued at $5 to $50. MS65, MS66, high-grade pennies, can sell for $100 to $1,500. Rare errors and varieties, double die and off-center strikes can be worth hundreds to thousands. MS67 plus red, top condition, the rarest of all, with some fetching tens of thousands of dollars, and the highest auction record for a 1994 penny. A near-perfect MS68 red 1994, the penny sold for an unbelievable $71,000. How to check if you have a valuable 1994 penny? Want to see if your 1994 penny is worth money? Follow this simple checklist. Heavy check mark, check the mint mark, look for D, Denver, or S, San Francisco. For proof coins, heavy check mark, look for doubling. A strong double die obverse, DDO, can be worth hundreds. Heavy check mark, examine the letters in America. If you spot a wide AM, you have a rare coin. Heavy check mark, check for errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, or misprints add value. Heavy check mark, inspect the color. A full red, RD, coin is far more valuable than brown ones. Heavy check mark, get it graded. If you think you have a high value penny, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Conclusion: the 1994 Lincoln Center may seem like an everyday coin, but as we've seen, some rare varieties and mint errors can turn it into a collector's dream. Whether it's a double die error, wide AM variety, off-center strike, or an ultra-high-grade example, these pennies can be worth thousands of dollars. So before you spend your 1994 penny, take a closer look. It might just be worth $71,000. Top 3. We're diving into the 1984 Jefferson nickel, a coin that many people overlook as just another piece of change. But did you know that some rare 1984 5-cent coins have sold for thousands of dollars? In fact, the most valuable one was auctioned for an incredible $41,000. So, what makes certain 1984 nickels so valuable? Could you have one hiding in your collection? Stay tuned as we explore the history, rare mint errors, and key factors that make the 1984 5-cent coin a potential treasure. History of the 1984 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, replacing the earlier Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, front, and his home, Monticello, on the reverse, back. By 1984, the Jefferson nickel was still being produced in large numbers, but there were no major design changes. However, certain errors and rare high-grade examples have made some of these coins extremely valuable. These nickels were minted at Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, over 448 million minted. Denver Mint, the mint mark, around 583 million minted. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, proof coins only, roughly 3 million minted, with over a billion nickels produced. Most 1984 nickels are only worth 5 cents. But a few rare varieties have turned up that are worth big money. Rare errors and valuable varieties. If you're searching for a valuable 1984 nickel, look out for these rare errors and key features. 1. 1984 D double die obverse, DDO. One of the most famous and valuable errors in coin collecting is the double die obverse, DDO. This occurs when the design is accidentally stamped twice, causing a visible doubling effect. On a 1984 D double die nickel, you may see, doubling in the word liberty, thicker or overlapping numbers in 1984, a shadow-like effect on In God We Trust, a strong double die obverse can make a 1984 nickel worth anywhere from $100 to $1,000 plus, depending on its condition. 2. Full Steps Jefferson Nickel, FS designation. The Full Steps FS designation is awarded to nickels that have a fully detailed Monticello design on the reverse. A regular Jefferson nickel often has weak or worn steps, but a Full Steps nickel is much sharper and more detailed. MS65 Full Steps FS, worth around $500 to $1,500. MS66 Full Steps FS can sell for $5,000 or more. MS67 Full Steps FS, extremely rare and valuable, with one selling for an astonishing $41,000. Off-center strike errors. If a coin is not properly aligned when struck at the mint, it can result in an off-center design, making it more valuable to collectors. 5 to 10% off-center, worth $50 to $150. 25 to 50% off-center, could sell for $500 to $1,500. More than 50% off with a full date visible, extremely rare and worth over $2,000. 4. Clip planchet error. A clip planchet error happens when a portion of the coin is missing due to a mistake in the minting process. Small clip, 5 to 10%, worth $50 to $200. Large clip, 15% or more, can sell for $500 to $1,500, depending on the coin's condition. How much is a 1984 nickel worth? Let's break down the general values of the 1984 Jefferson nickel. Circulated condition, common nickels, worth 5 to 10 cents. Uncirculated, MS60, MS64, typically valued at $5 to $50. MS65, MS66, high-grade nickels, can sell for $100 to $5,000. Double die obverse, DDO, or major errors, could be worth $500 to $2,000. MS67 Full Steps FS, the rarest and most valuable condition, with one selling for an unbelievable $41,000. How to check if you have a valuable 1984 nickel? Want to know if your 1984 nickel is worth more than just 5 cents? Follow these steps. Heavy check mark, check for a mint mark. Look for D, Denver, or S, San Francisco for proof coins. Heavy check mark, look for doubling in the text and numbers. A strong double die obverse, DDO, could be valuable. Heavy check mark, inspect the Monticello steps. If all the steps are clear, you may have a Full Steps FS nickel. Heavy check mark, check for errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, or misprints. Add value. Heavy check mark, get it graded. If you suspect you have a rare coin, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Conclusion. The 1984 Jefferson nickel may seem like an everyday coin, but as we've seen, rare errors and high-grade examples can make it worth a fortune. Whether it's a double die obverse, Full Steps variety, off-center strike, or a rare high-grade coin, some of these nickels have sold for thousands of dollars. So before you spend your 1984 nickel, take a closer look. You might just be holding a $41,000 treasure. Top 4. We're diving into the 2013 Jefferson nickel, a coin that most people think is only worth 5 cents. But what if I told you that some rare 2013 nickels have sold for thousands of dollars? In fact, the most valuable one was auctioned for an unbelievable $38,000. So, what makes certain 2013 5-cent coins so valuable? Could you have one hiding in your pocket change? Stay tuned as we uncover the history, rare mint errors, and key factors that make the 2013 nickel a potential jackpot. History of the 2013 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been a part of U.S. coinage since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The modern version of the Jefferson nickel, featuring an updated portrait, was introduced in 2006. The obverse, front, of the 2013 nickel features a modernized image of Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse, back, showcases his historic home, Monticello. By 2013, the US Mint continued producing these nickels with a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing 5 grams. They were minted at Philadelphia Mint, P Mint mark over 490 million minted. Denver Mint, D Mint mark around 500 million minted. San Francisco Mint, S Mint mark, proof coins only, about 1.8 million minted. While most of these nickels are common, some rare errors and high-grade specimens have made certain 2013 nickels extremely valuable. Rare errors and valuable varieties. If you're searching for a valuable 2013 nickel, look out for these rare features. 1. 2013 Double Die Obverse, DDO. One of the most famous and valuable errors in coin collecting is the double die obverse, DDO. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect in the lettering. On a 2013 double die nickel, check for doubling in Liberty, thicker or overlapping numbers in 2013, a shadow-like effect on In God We Trust. If you spot strong doubling, your 2013 nickel could be worth anywhere from $500 to $3,000 depending on condition. 2. Full Steps Jefferson Nickel, FS designation. The Full Steps FS designation is given to nickels with a fully detailed Monticello design on the reverse. Most nickels have weak or worn steps, but a Full Steps nickel is much sharper and more detailed. MS66 Full Steps FS, worth around $500 to $2,000. MS67 Full Steps FS, extremely rare and valuable, with some selling for $10,000 plus. MS68 Full Steps FS, the rarest of all, with one auction for an incredible $38,000. Off-center strike errors. An off-center strike occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting. These errors can be valuable based on how misaligned the coin is. 5 to 10% off-center, worth $50 to $150. 25 to 50% off-center, can sell for $500 to $1,500. More than 50% off with a full date visible, extremely rare and worth over $3,000. Die crack errors, cuts and breaks. When a coin's die starts to wear down, cracks can form, leading to raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. These die crack errors, especially large ones, can make a 2013 nickel much more valuable. Small die cracks, worth $10 to $50. Large, dramatic cracks can sell for $500 or more depending on the coin's condition. How much is a 2013 nickel worth? Let's break down the general values of the 2013 Jefferson nickel. Circulated condition, common nickels, worth 5 to 10 cents. Uncirculated, MS60, MS64, typically valued at $5 to $50. MS65, MS66, high-grade nickels, can sell for $100 to $2,000. Double die obverse, DDO, or major errors, could be worth $500 to $5,000. MS68 Full Steps, FS, the rarest and most valuable condition, with one selling for an unbelievable $38,000. How to check if you have a valuable 2013 nickel? Want to know if your 2013 nickel is worth more than just 5 cents? Follow these steps. Heavy check mark. Check for a mint mark. Look for P, Philadelphia, D, Denver, or S, San Francisco for proof coins. Heavy check mark. Look for doubling in the text and numbers. A strong double die obverse, DDO, could be valuable. Heavy check mark. Inspect the Monticello steps. If all the steps are clearly defined, you may have a Full Steps, FS, nickel. Heavy check mark. Check for errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, or misprints at value. Heavy check mark. Get it graded. If you suspect you have a rare coin, send it to PCGS or in GC4. Authentication. Conclusion. The 2013 Jefferson nickel may seem like an ordinary coin, but as we've seen, rare errors and high-grade examples can make it worth a fortune. Whether it's a double die obverse, Full Steps variety, off-center strike, or a rare high-grade coin, some of these nickels have sold for thousands of dollars. So before you spend your 2013 nickel, take a closer look. You might just be holding a $38,000 treasure, have you ever found a rare or valuable nickel in your change? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more rare coin discoveries. See you in the next video. Final value mention: one of the rarest 2013 nickels, a full steps FS MS68 example, was auctioned for an incredible $38,000.